Hello everyone and welcome to a surprise WARNO patch, as Eugen really went quick in here with the hotfix. And yeah, it's a sad day for all the Rügener Jungen out there like me, as the Krug went up to 190 points. There's a good couple of other good changes and some questionable ones that we will go over in a second though. And I think the Krug still will be doing fine in team games. In 1v1 it will be a bit more expensive, but the 13 damage stays, and that's the important part, that its stats stay unchanged. It is a good one. And there's also has been a dev block next to this small patch, which is really hype, as that dev block goes over all things map editor wise, that they have pushed the export of it now. You can export your scenarios, you can play them in multiplayer via mods, and there is more being pushed towards creating your own maps now as well. Plus some traits. The first thing here already being in, that smoke launchers now be represented on unit cards. But more importantly, we get some more electronic warfare that really fits a Cold War battlefield with fire direction and sick int, which is really cool. And the UAVs here have the first picture as well, as they will come with the upcoming Nemesis DLC and potentially some more in the future as well. So yeah, let's go over the patch itself. As you can see, the first thing is in the helicopter tab, where the American Little Birds now have a stabilizer. And that is quite nice, as they were pretty terrible before. They now can fly with the minigun and actually hit something. Same goes for the Chinook minigun. I still don't think they have a real good damage output, but it might make them now at least a bit more playable as a gun and run kind of unit. So we'll see. The aim time being really high on the miniguns though is a bit of an issue there. If that goes lower, then these guys might become interesting. I would love to see the little birds doing the job. With their high veterancy, they at least reduce the aim time a good bit as well. But if that drops to 2 seconds base aim time, then I feel like this unit might start to become somewhat worthwhile again. And yeah, then we have an increase to the F111 availabilities. So those are still pretty bad though. I wish we would just fix their reload time instead of increasing their numbers. The prices and so on them is all fair. I think you just have to wait for too long of a time for them to reload at the moment. So if that would change, that would be a better fix to this whole shenanigans as well. And then the next change is to Aero Fireteam Dragons. They're going up in price again. So these two were, and the Airborne Dragon normally, were reduced in price for the Dragon 2 nerf that they received, and I thought that was fine, especially considering how one of first currently plays. But yeah, the Airborne Dragon going up in price again. So I guess, yeah, the Airborne Dragon here, that's actually not a nerf to one of first, which still, but it's only to 82nd, but still I felt like that price reduction was fair, considering that those divisions rely on these Dragon Infantry units quite a lot, and that their capabilities were hit pretty hard. The Military Police Patrol was reduced in availability. We see a couple others here being reduced in availability later as well. Engineer Flash reduced from 40 to 35 points, that's nice. They felt overpriced for a 5-point unit. That's a nice change. Stingers going up in price. I can get behind that as well. They were really strong Madden pets. So yeah, the Aero Stinger, AB Stinger, and normal Stinger going up in price. 5 points. That is fine. National Guard Scouts going up by 5 points. That's mostly to hit the their combination with the ACAV with the recoilless rifle, I guess, a bit. Plus you get a lot of them, so it's really cheap recon. 20 points is still fair for them. I understand where this is coming from. I'm not sure if it's really necessary. The veterancy stuff is just according. Nothing too specific there. And then we come to the really questionable change in this patch, in my eyes. The Harrier availability nerf. And Harriers 2 patches ago, they needed a nerf. They already got a nerf last patch though, with a price increase, and I found that was enough to, and plus First UK losing some air slots to really stop the Harrier spam that you got out of First UK, that you got with 2nd Panzer Grenadier and 2nd UK, from being completely obnoxious, as you then could just be relatively price efficient with your ground-based AA and they couldn't just spam them out at the beginning of the game as quickly as they could before. I don't think the availability change is a good one, as that will leave them kind of stranded. You don't take just 2 Harriers. With 8 hit points and flying slow, there's usually better options in all the decks that got them, and it just means that they're dead cards now, I believe. We will see, but I think this kills the Harrier right now, and I don't believe it was necessary, as neither of these 3 divisions was really OP right now. And if they were too strong in some aspects, I think other nerfs would have been better at this point, with the Harrier already being at a decent price point now. RAF rifles being renamed and then paying for that renaming with a 5-point price increase. That's another nerf to a Harrier division with Berlin Command, just as the HSF nerf here, and I don't quite get why. Yeah, this is pretty unnecessary, as Burcom was really weak already, in especially being easy to air spam against, and these changes here just hit on the division that already could use some buffs. I think the Arden carrier that they have in the tank tab, that I ranked as the weakest tank in my tank tier list, when we go to the UK here, this thing, if that would get a 10-point price buff and go down to 30 points, I guess it might be worthwhile. By the way, it has smoke launchers. This is the new trait here for it, that you can see on other tanks as well, which is a good indicator. I really like this as an addition. It comes 2 years too late, or later than it should be, but it's good that we finally got it. And yeah, Germany getting a nerf to the Leo 2A3 and 2A4. That is the right nerf here. Messing up my tier list that is coming out later today a bit. F4F base availability going down further to 2. Yeah, so yeah, my tier list is... I mean, I said that those were the nerfs that I wanted. Freiwillige Polizeireserve hitting Berlin Command even further. Yeah, I don't know what is this obsession with Berlin Command. It was a weak division before. It might just be D tier now. Like, that, all their cheap infantry is now gone. Feldjäger getting an availability reduction. Yeah, Leo 2A3 and 2A4 price nerf, that is absolutely justified. And yeah, will take 5th Panzer out of S tier, especially with the F4F nerf as well. Which I think was unnecessary as well. 3 availability on those things was fine in my book. After the price nerf. The price nerf was the really important thing there. And yeah, please make planes more manageable, Eugen. And then Pact, we got Motostrelki price buff from 55 to 50 points. That is nice. Commander Antura availability nerf. Okay, that's fine. I don't think they were spammed that hard, so I don't think this was necessary, but hey, it is what it is. Thessaloniki Medis going down in price as well. That will help the 35th quite a bit, so that is a nice change as well. Meet M240 millimeter going down in price. That is fair as well. BTR Commandantura going up in price. Yep, that was too cheap as well. So that's all making sense here. Base availability for Motostrelki Mezis going up. So yeah, that's just on baseline with all the others in the other divisions. So 27th there, just going on par with the others. Theirs is only named different because it has different skin. Combat-wise, it's the same. MiG-23s getting a bit changed here. The AA version of it goes down in base availability. Not a fan. That thing deserved 3 availability in my eyes, but yeah, it's weird. Some of these changes to the fighters will leave some decks really without any air-to-air capacity that really is usable. As you need a number advantage with these things to have a chance against something like an SU-27 or F-15, and you just never can get that if you are limited to 2. Like, that's just never a number that you really can work with. Krug nerf that we talked about. The BM24M getting a suppression buff. That is nice. That thing could use some slight buffs. The 1mm flak got nerfed, and no other AA got buffed in Rügener. I feel like what should have buffed in Rügener especially is the transport that they got, which currently is 40 points and just really not worth 40 points and could be cool and unique, this thing here, as it has really limited anti-helicopter and anti-aircraft range. And it's more expensive than any BMP-1 right now, but it's just being weaker, like its ground target damage is not that great, and so on. So yeah, this thing should be 35 points, 30 points maybe even. And it being currently 40 points is a bit of a hurt, so I wish that would be buffed. What got buffed though is the helicopter tab with 2 Me-14 PL now. So that is great. ATGMs were an issue of this division that you needed more of, and this thing already worked quite fine before. Having 2 cards of these now as an option, plus cheap slots as well, is cool. That actually might come up in the end as a buff for 1v1 play, even with the Krug price nerf, but the price of the Krug was never the issue, really. You could afford it in a division where everything else is relatively cheap anyways, even with more 90 points you can. So yeah, getting some more capabilities here might end up as a 1v1 buff in general. I just wished it would have been buffed in some other aspects as well. And yeah, the Pichota set him edge. I guess that going down to 35 is the other buff, though they are not that great either. It's just a 7-man squad, but it's cheaper than Motostrelkis now, while it's being just a slight bit weaker due to the RPG of theirs not being so great. So it's an okay squad for 35 points. Like, it's a pretty good one, actually. Veterancy curve is okay as well. So yeah, that's something interesting. We will see how it all plays out. And yeah, let's get some games going on with this. I'm really looking forward to League with this as well. I think this patch mostly is good. So yeah, if you haven't signed up for League Season 2 yet, starting on the 16th, consider doing so right now. Link in the description below, just like the map editor video for everybody interested in that, or that they also linked here of a wooden boxes. A really, really good video, so check that out as well. And see you all next time, guys. Bye bye, and have a great day.